I'm feeling better than I was yesterday, but you know, I'm actually not too bad. It's just all on my chest. Nice, keep going. Come on, NRSN. Let's go on a parabolic run now. You know you want to. Got 5,000 shares in this now. Nah, not yet. I need to be plus 1,000 today. So I've got plus 700. So I've got 4,000 to make up basically. Can it be done in power hour? That's the question. At the moment, it looks like I'm having a red day. But if NRSN keeps moving up, goes parabolic, I can increase my size and all will be good. I'll stick here. It pulls back. I've got my stop at 432. It's still my, there you go, I got stopped out. But it's still my second best trading month ever. And I've just made back almost everything that I lost on, well, I say almost everything, on NRSN this morning. I'm still 900 in the hole, but that popped down quick. I apologise to everybody watching the stream if I'm going to be coughing like that. That's, just blame COVID. Blame China for inventing COVID. But yeah, we're looking for movement. So we got a little bit out of Bed Bath and Beyond. We got, I knew that was during the stream earlier. We got a little bit out of KZR and a little bit out of AMC. AMC was making steady gains and then it started selling off again. So this one started moving up. As soon as it broke over the VWAP, I thought, okay, let's have a go. I mean, I got above the VWAP. The first entry here, I actually made a bit of a loss. And as it started to move back up again, I got in and I was able to make a profit. So to be fair, it's kind of adhering to this 9 EMA fairly well. All right, let's get the you're all right. Right. Let's get the stream set up on YouTube. There we go. That should pretty much cover the YouTube elements. Why is that? No. There we go. Oh, that's not right. Okay. I think that makes it look a bit better. There we go. That's that done. Okay, back to the chat. Sorry about that, guys. Distracted. Evening, Reach. Yes, we're back, Quadro. Am I feeling better? Not really. I'm feeling better than I did. Than I was yesterday. I couldn't stream yesterday. I was absolutely goosed. PFE. Let's have a look. Oh, nice. Lovely run up. It's on its way back down again now, but you could have told me a couple of hours ago. Could have done with jumping on that one. Good afternoon, Alphabet. Redbox never did anything after a little bit of a pump up earlier, and then nothing. I actually missed it. I went out walking the dog, and on the Discord, I got notified on the Discord by one of the guys in the Discord to say Redbox making a move, and I'm like, oh well, no FOMO. I'll carry on walking the dog, and when I got back, it had done. So Revlon, it's been choppy all day. Been very choppy all day. I lost $3.5 grand on it earlier, so need better volume. NRSN pulling back now after making that move up. All right, what else? What else is moving aside from NRSN? NRSN is about it, really. Hey, look, that's it. Oh, overall, the markets are absolutely vomiting, Coachman. They're vomiting this week. Absolutely. I mean, SPY, to be fair, they made a valiant effort to come back. But look at the SPY on the 60-minute, for example. So it gapped down, sold off pre-market, and then It made a pretty valiant effort to come back. It almost got, well, it did get green just for a few moments, and now it's selling off again. So it's going to be a red day across the markets. The Nasdaq didn't even get green. So it's a similar pattern, but didn't even get green. The Dow Jones didn't get green either. What about the Russell? Oh yeah, that was probably the one that was green for the longest. So yeah, markets have not been very forthcoming this week. When you think of what they've been giving us in the rest of June. I don't think I'll trade tomorrow either. It's a new month, so what I'll do is I'll after all this is done, I'll fill out my little forms that I have to. So for those of you not familiar with Capital Markets Elite, you when you want to withdraw from your account, you have to fill out these little forms, send it off, and then they process it, and it takes a couple of days to process and stuff. So I'll probably do that after I've finished here, and then that way it'll come out of my account, but they won't process it until next week, and then I'll start afresh on Monday. Just think, first of the month, it's a Friday. Based on how I've been feeling as well with the COVID, I can actually skip the day and take it off as a day off. I think based on the performance in June, I've earned a day off for sure. We've had a really good month, so I'm not complaining. Hey Scalper, welcome back. Well, the big Mars, that's what happens in a bear market. Hey, 570 is a good day, Alistair. Well done. Fantastic. I mean, that's a six-figure salary right there if you could do that every day. Fantastic. Really proud of you. I'm almost as proud of you getting that as I would be if I'd done it. And I did say almost. I see confirmation that this is going to move up. I'm not feeling it right now. Yeah, that was right. I just had a feeling. Trust your feeling. Excuse me, everybody. If I'm coughing down the microphone, I do apologise. Like I said, it's looking like it might be a red day. We've got 3,500 to make up in power hour in the next 60 minutes. Can we make $3,500 worth of profit in the next 60 minutes? Let me know in the chat what you think. Is it possible, the way the market is at the moment, the way that things are moving, can we make 3,500 in the next 60 minutes? Is AMC shortable? No. It is, but I have to get locates, and I've not got them, so. Yeah, well, I've clawed back my initial losses up to the tune of $900 down now, so. Yeah, I don't think it's realistic to expect 3,500 today. I'd have to, if I wanted to 3,500, I'd have to go in big side, big risk, and big swings, and I'm not prepared to do that now. Right at the final, the death knell. I'll just take the L today and rejoice in my second ever best trading month. Yeah, if there's trades, yeah, exactly, Les. But right now, I'm not seeing anything worth trading. I mean, AMC's on the downwards, and I can't short it, so there's no trade there for me. NRSN it's gone back to chop. I got on this little move up and made back some of my profit, some of the losses that I've made on it. Now it's gone back to chop, so I'll wait for it to set up nicely, because there's no setup at the moment. Redbox is selling off and is on the short sales restriction. It's shortable, but you have to get it on the uptick, which is a pain. If you're wondering how to short something on the uptick, what essentially you have to do is put a limit order in that's higher, that's priced higher than the ask, and hope that it comes back and meets it. So if it's moving down, it's not as easy as you might think. You've just got to time it right. Oh, yeah, absolutely, Alistair. I mean, there's only ever one month been better than this one, so I can't grumble. It's the best month of the year by a long stretch. So I've had my best month of the year. I've had my second best trade of the year, second best trade ever. I think I've had my second best trading day ever. I've definitely had my best trading week of the year anyway. So yeah, it's been a good month. I'm very happy with June. It more than makes up for the disappointment that was May, and we're back on track at least. So the damp squib that was May, we've made up for that, and we're back on track. So there's a possibility that we can still go for 7 figures this year, if we can. That's the aim, and that will remain the aim until it's not possible anymore. But we start again on Monday. Let's say it'll do me good just to take tomorrow off. We'll start again on Monday, 30k account, which this rate, what am I losing here? 2 grand. Yeah, so I'll be about 130k withdrawal. So we're just under, a little bit of change under 30k we start with on Monday. Veru. Oh, there's a blast from the past. Let's have a look. No is the answer, Les. Veru is not doing anything. It's very choppy sideways. It's not. There's no range at all. And you look at it on the 60-minute, you can see what I'm talking about. It's just sideways chop. Not much volume either. So no is the answer. It's not doing very much at all. . Tesla, we can have a look at Tesla. Tesla on the 1 minute. Let's put it on the 2 minute because I can compare it. Yeah, I can compare it very similar to the wider market. It made the move up, tried to get green on the day, and then sold off, as did the wider market. So yeah, let's zoom out. So this is Tesla. Let's compare that to the SPY on the same chart. So it's not exactly the same, but the overall movement is very similar. So if you look at Tesla, this is the SPY, and this one is Tesla. And then we've got the NASDAQ. So very similar again. What you've got to understand is a lot of these larger companies, the big companies, the Teslas, the Microsofts, the Amazons, the Micron, the AMD, all these big Fortune 500 companies, if you will, these big S&P 500 companies, they tend to trade with the market unless they have a reason not to. What that means, if it could be their earnings report comes out, or they could have a specific newsworthy catalyst. If they don't have one of those, then very often they'll just trade along with the market. Just a moment. I'm not going anywhere with that. I'm only going to pack in tissues. I don't think I was abandoning you or something. Got the sniffles. It's not polite to wipe it on your forearm if you're not. How do I open this damn thing? This is not for eating. It's tissue. You can't eat tissue. Stop licking your lips and wagging your tail at me. It's tissue. Dumb chow. Tell you what. When we get to 1,000 likes, you can have one of these duck treats, okay? You got to ask the audience. Like a game of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Who wants to be a fat chow this game? Yeah, you can smell it because I've taken it out the packet ready, because they'll get you to 1,000 likes in no time at all. It's 7.92 now. So they don't have to do too much. ASPN. N63. Ah, you got him right at the top. Same thing, 88. What was your plan? You got him right at the top. It got pretty much rejected at the. What was your cut-off plan? Well, we're nearly there. We've only got 16 more likes. There we go. There you go. There you go. Say thank you, peoples. Say thank you, traders. Huh? 6755.6 on 1 minute Tesla. I'm sorry, I don't get that. I don't understand what that means. And basically, going back to same thing. Yes, she's definitely enjoying that little treat. She's looking at me like she's going to get another one. Well, you can't have another one now. You might get another one later. If I manage to get some of this back, if we can break even today, I'll give you another one, okay? That's looking unlikely at the moment. The market just isn't being generous today. So same thing, you're stuck in ASPN. You're not stuck, you're only holding on. There's a difference. When you've, yeah, no problem, Les. People say they're stuck in a position and they're not. Nobody's ever stuck in a position. But you get into this mindset, and this is why people lose. This is another reason why people lose, is that they don't want to take a loss. So they hold the position for longer. What they think is, if I hold it longer, it might turn around. And that's a losing mentality. You cut your losses early. Because this, yes, unfortunately, I can understand why you might have got in at 1063. You wait for the break of the VWAP, and it moves up, and then it goes against you. So you're in at 1063 right at the top, and then it starts selling off. What you've got to understand is that it was 9:30s or something earlier today. 9:39 earlier today. Yesterday, the bottom yesterday was 793. So you're holding it at 10 now. You're not stuck in it. You're just being stubborn and not wanting to cut your losses. It's now below 10. So I'm not offering advice, but the whole point about being a profitable day trader, if you're day trading, swing trading, day trading, the whole thing about being profitable is knowing when to cut your losses. You only risk what you can afford to lose, but you cut your losses early. The worst case scenario, if you get into the habit of that practice, you cut your losses at the earliest opportunity. What you'll find is that more often it'll work out for you, because you'll save yourself a lot of money from the losing positions. Occasionally, you'll misjudge it, and it will reverse, and it'll rally back up again. And what's stopping you getting back in? So if you cut your losses, for example, at 1063, if I got in here, just looking at the 1 minute chart, and this was at 1064. If I got in, and I'm not trying to pick on you something, I'm not, I'm just using this as an example for everybody. So this is just for education and entertainment purposes only. So we're up here, and we're getting at 1063. We're looking for a continuation. Buy high, momentum trading, buy high, sell higher. It goes against us. So this candle here is where we've got it at 202. We're getting at 1063. Low of this candle is 1050. You might think, oh, I'll give it 10 cents. Or you might say, okay, well, I'll give it to the low of the candle. So next candle to make a new low, which is this one. It breaks a new low. It breaks the low of the candle that you got in on. It breaks a new low. That should get out clause. Not only that, the other reason why you're getting out is broken a key resistance level. It's broke a multitude of key resistance levels. It's broke your VWAP. It's gone past the $0.50, and it's broke lower than the previous candle. So there's a multitude of reasons why you should have got out of that at around 1050. Now, am I perfect? In hindsight, anybody can tell you what you should have done. The problem is, you get down and you hold it a bit longer, and it comes down here to kind of 1040. You're giving it, say, 25 cents. It makes a little move back up and tests the VWAP. At that point, you should be saying, okay, well, if it gets rejected at the VWAP, I've got to get out. It gets rejected at the VWAP on 3 separate occasions, and then when it breaks a new low, there's no excuse not to get out. So the fact that you're still holding it at $10 is just being stubborn, because you're not stuck in it. There's no other reason for you to be still holding that position than you being stubborn. That's all it is. And to be fair, I'm not like I said, I'm not picking on you, because this is what a lot of new traders do. Is nobody likes to be wrong. Nobody likes to lose money. But the sooner you can get it into your head that you're going to lose money, every single day you're going to lose money. You're going to make a trade every day that loses money. And what you want to be doing is making more winners than you make losers. But you've got to accept that your judgment is not 100%. I'm a good trader. I consider myself a good trader. So even my judgment is not 100%. What's my trade review stats tell me on June? My best month of the year is June, and I've got a 68% accuracy rate, which means almost a third of all my trades go against me. So you think about that for a second. A third of all my trades. So 1 in 3 of my trades go against me. But you've got to cut your losses. It certainly is, Alphabet. That's why it's a nice long weekend. But I'm taking tomorrow off. Well, that's not why I'm taking tomorrow off. I thought I'll take I could use the long weekend to recover from this dreaded lurgy that I picked up. Hang on a minute. Let me go back to the Tesla. Right, so you're talking about 675.55. I was thinking there's no you missed out the decimal point. That's what's confusing me. You had the decimal point in the wrong place the first time around, and then you missed it out in its entirety the second time around. So that's why you confused me there, Z. No problem. Same thing. So if somebody had been as brutal and honest with me when I first started and gave me that kind of advice, I wouldn't have lost nearly as much money as I did when I first started trading. I would have been a lot more mindful of cutting my losses early. And if one thing you can take away from my streams, it's this: manage your risk. Know where your cutoff is before you actually enter the trade. So if you're going to enter a trade now at 672, if this moves up on Tesla 672, you've got to know where you're getting out. You say, okay, well, if it goes to 670, I'll give it $2. I'm getting out. And if it goes to 670, you get out. You don't get to 670 and think, well, I'll give it an extra $2 or an extra $5 or whatever it is. Because the more you give it, the more you lose. If in this situation, 672, it reaches 672 and I enter, and then it reverses, goes back to 670, and I get out, and then it reverses back and rallies again, I can always get back in at 670, even 50, for the ride back up again. There's nothing stopping you from re-entering. Worst case scenarios, it costs you a commission charge, and in the grand scheme of things, that's not going to be it's not going to be too life-threatening, shall we say. Funnily enough, it went up to 672 and did reverse. So that plan would have been absolutely spot on. All right, let's go back to what were we looking at? Because Tesla's not really for trading today. Oh, that's a painful double top on NRSN. It's not shortable. That's always a bad sign. All right. Anybody else got anything moving? Let me know. Revlon, where are you? Chop. Chop, chop, choppity chop. Look at it on the 60-minute. You can look at it on the 30-minute even. 15-minute. There we go. Chop, chop, sideways chop. It's just difficult to actually trade something like that. And this is what I'm talking about, why the VWAP is such a powerful intraday indicator. You look at the VWAP here on the 5 minutes. It's pretty much tracked the move up, and then it's straight. But what Revlon's done is it's gone up and down either side of the VWAP, basically meaning it's not upwards or downwards trending, it's just sideways. And you can pretty much see that from the chart. It's sideways. It's not very good for Revlon, right? You go down to a lower time frame, you get a bigger, looks like you're getting bigger swings, but you're not. It's very sideways chop, and that's been today. So hopefully I'll get a nice long weekend. We'll come back next week, and we'll start afresh, and we'll have some new volatility in the market. It doesn't matter whether it's up or downwards in terms of the hey manzo. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean, but hello. But next week we get some volatility, and we can make some more gains. It'd be nice to get a nice couple of good parabolic movers in the first week of next week, but you know, we can dream. Well, I could do that, farm boy, but the problem is it depends on your broker, because different brokers charge different fees, and different brokers calculate the fees in different ways. So I use Interactive Brokers, and I also use Capital Markets. Now, Capital Markets, I've just been talking about Tesla. Capital Markets charge me a transaction fee, so charge me $2.95 per transaction. So for every round trip, so I enter a trade and I exit a trade, it's costing me nearly $6. That's in commissions alone. On top of that, I might get ECN fees, which is charged per share. So the bigger the size, the more I get charged. There's also FINRA fees and SEC fees, which are tiny in comparison. The biggest fees that you're going to come across are your commissions and your ECN fees. So those tend to be the largest ones. Now, as I say, Capital Markets charge me per transaction, but Interactive Brokers charge me per share. So if I'm taking if I'm trading higher price stocks with Interactive Brokers, it's going to cost me less because I'm trading lower share size. Whereas with Capital Markets, it makes no difference. So in theory, I could trade Capital Markets on these low price stocks and take bigger size, and it works out better for me than if I would be taking it with Interactive Brokers, because I'm taking bigger size, I get charged more in commissions. So, and then there's the actual rate, depending on who you are and what broker you're with. The rate, if it's a transaction, some are charging, like I said, $2.95 is Capital Markets. I know some are charging $3.95, some are charging $4.75. It depends on who your broker is. Just look at your broker's policies and fee structure, and it will show you that, and it will also show you if they're actually passing on the fees from ECN and FINRA and the likes, SEC, etc. So we've been talking about Tesla a while, but well, you probably just joined, so you might have missed it. So Tesla selling off along with the rest of the wider market. So this is Tesla, and this is the Nasdaq, and this is the S&P 500. So there's not much difference. Like I say, Tesla, like a lot of these larger cap stocks, they trade, unless they have a reason not to, they will trade with the market. So you keep an eye on the market, keep an eye on the SPY, which is an ETF that tracks the market. You keep an eye on the market and it'll tell you what Tesla's going to do. The only time I would say that it's not going to trade with the market, it may deviate from the market action, is when it's, is when it's got a catalyst to do something different, which is usually earnings results or any news catalyst or you know, dividends announcements or anything like that. So yes, the market's closed on Monday. Excuse me. Which is why I'm taking tomorrow off. Well, no, that's not why I'm taking tomorrow off, and I've already said that. I'm taking tomorrow off to recuperate so that I'll be ready next week to... Those bloody stupid dogs. Come on, you. Come on in. They're annoying. Oh, I've gone in. Okay, you stay there. Oh, two of the most annoying... Two little Bichon Friezes. You know, they look pretty. Like every girlfriend I've ever had. They look really pretty, but they've got so much of that and they're so really annoying. Oh, they're tiny. What's my TA for Tesla for tomorrow? It's not it's not tomorrow yet. But if I'm looking at what did I do with Tesla? I would expect Tesla to continue to sell with the market. So if you look at it on the day, okay, get rid of all these lines so we can actually see it. So you can see that this is in a downwards trend along with the wider market, and I think we're going to start reaching for below 650. 625 is you know, close to the bottom. We might not get that far down, but I think we will eventually. I think Tesla is going to go below 600 for the first time in a long time. In July, I think we've got a lot more pain. If you look at the markets, go back to the SPY. We've got a lot more pain ahead of us. So the SPY here at 360s. 361 is what we thought was the bottom. No, it's not. We need some good news. Maybe, you know, we'll get some good news on the GDP numbers when they're official. The likelihood is it's just going to confirm that we're now in recession. They won't come out until next month because we've got, after today, we've got it's the end of the Q2. Now officially we had 1 quarter of negative growth. Q1 was a negative growth quarter. So Q2, if it's a negative growth quarter, and let's face it, it is. We can pretend that it might not be because we've not seen the numbers yet, but come on, who we're trying to fool? It's a negative growth quarter. So we're as good as in recession right now. We're just waiting for it to be officially confirmed. But if we can continue to see the markets retract like this, consumer sentiment and consumer confidence continue to be on the downturn, inflation remaining high. I mean, I know that they're trying to get to grips with inflation, but it's just not going to come down overnight. But inflation get high, it's going to, you know, stranglehold the economy a little bit. So, yeah. We've got a bit more pain to endure before we can see the end of it. And just because we've had 2 consecutive quarters of shrinkage doesn't mean the next one's going to turn around either. I think we're in for a longer recession than certainly the last one, which was kind of an artificial one brought on by COVID. But what do I know? I'm just a fat bloke on the internet. Not a financial advisor. not offering financial advice. If you've got Tesla puts, I don't think you're in a bad place. Again, I'm not saying go out and buy puts, but if you've got puts, I think fair play to you, buddy. Well, about the volume drying up after the first hour or so tomorrow, you're probably right, because tends to, in most cases, the volume tends to dry up after the first hour anyway, every day. But tomorrow in particular, we're going into a long weekend, so Fridays tend to be a little bit quieter than the rest of the week, and going into a holiday weekend, it also means, well, 2800, if I take the 2800 loss there, now this is only trade profit. This doesn't take into account, so this is to answer Alistair's question. What will my profit on the month be? I'd have to work out what the overall net profit was. But my trade profit will be, if I take the, let's call it 3 grand, it'll be 163. Yeah, 163 and a half. Nearly 164. So, not bad. 164,000 in a month. Many years I worked and didn't get that in a year. So, I can't be disappointed in it. Well, I'm hardly going to be disappointed having my second best ever trading month. But also, I think one thing about trading that becomes addictive, but also toxic, is you have a big month, and the following month you're looking to have another big month just like it, and you need to get away from that as soon as possible. That cost me last year when I had a big month, and I started swinging for the fences, and it took me a while to recover from the early losses I did on the following month. So you need to get away from that and start every month brand new from zero, as if it's your first month trading. Manage your risk. Don't worry about, your goals. They'll come. Just go back to basics and stick to your overall strategy. Yeah, so let me just pull this up right now. Where are we? So I've not counted any losses from today, but my net profits this month are just under 140, 138. So after so I'll be about 135, maybe just under 135. So that'll be my net. So let's see what happens. It means that, like I say, 100k for me, and 30, 35 for the account for next week, or maybe 25 for the account and 110 for me. I don't know. Let's see what I decide. I'll have a look, see what I want to buy, if I need to buy. Good thing is I don't need to pay tax on it yet. I'll just settle my last tax bill. That was painful. Absolutely, Alistair. Nobody goes broke taking profits. It's like you scale out. Whatever it is that you're doing, you scale out. So if you're on a trade, you you get into a trade, you can scale into it, but you take profits as you go. So for example, if you start with 500, as it moves up, you'll add another 500 but take 250 off. So actually you're locking some gains in, taking 25% of the gains locked in, but you're adding to your position. And then as it continues to move up, you might add another 500 and take 250 off. So you're locking more gains and add to your position again. So then you've actually got 1,000 shares now, and you keep doing that. So that's one thing that you should always be doing, is taking profits. You're just in the position and hoping that it's going to go to the moon and hodling forever, like a lot of people on certain meme stocks are doing, and like a lot of people are doing with certain, you know, weird cryptos. Usually have got a crappy dog face on, then you're going to lose money. I was reading some interesting news about crypto today as well, about the amount of big whales, big bets against USDT. So the Tether, which is the largest stable coin, is coming under pressure. It's being heavily shorted, and if Tether collapses, it's going to take half the crypto world with it. We saw what happened with Terra, the whole Terra Luna debacle. If Tether, the US Tether, actually loses its peg against the dollar, that will cause absolute ructions across the crypto world. Well, Super Chip, you've been watching me, so I'm sure you've picked up a few of my tricks. I'm sure I've learned a few things from you as well. Some people are better at it than others. Some people are more suited to swing trading. Some people are probably better at, you know, fundamental analysis and value investing. It's one of these things. So again, I like to work on multiple time frames. So I look for the micro entries on the 1 minute, but a lot of people find the 1 minute time frame a bit too volatile, and they either get faked out, or because it's too volatile, they'll panic and they'll cut the position too soon, or whatever the situation may be. So my advice is if you're not finding it you're liking to play to trade on the 1 minute time frame, step it up into a higher time frame. You might find it a little bit easier. So you look for the patterns on the 2 minute, or the 3 minute, or the 5 minute, or whatever suits you. You don't have to be trading the 1 minute just because I do. I know someone that trades a 10-second. 10-second. I couldn't do that. Just the sheer amount of chop you get on a 10-second chart, it would just freak me out. 60 seconds is bad enough, but a 10-second chart, come on. Well, Celsius is under pressure, big time. I mean, they were supposed to. So Celsius was supposed to resume withdrawals today, because you know how. Okay, so for those of you that are not familiar with the crypto world or what's been going on, since the Terra Luna collapse at the beginning of June, there's a few other what classed as big fish in the crypto world have come under pressure from liquidity issues. So even Coinbase have not been immune. So a lot of these, Celsius is the latest one that they froze withdrawals. So if they were holding your crypto, they were holding your coins, you couldn't withdraw them off their network. Now, you could still trade them, but you had to do it on their network. So they were still holding all of your assets. so you can't withdraw them, and they're frozen. They were scheduled to resume withdrawals today, and they postponed it. So what they're trying to, and they've actually just released, if I'm right, they've just released, I can't remember the name of it, they've released another coin so that they can add liquidity to their own bank balance so that they can cover the exposure that they already have, which is not, that doesn't sound great to me. Well, Matt, that's spot on. And that's pretty much what I'm doing. I mean, I don't touch the 15, but I mean, I've got the 1, the 2, the 5, then I've got the 60 and the daily for support and resistance. No, well, I don't know about the weekend, Alistair. I might be okay. I'm feeling a lot better today than I was yesterday. So if I have that kind of rate of improvement, tomorrow, I'll feel better again. I won't be having any wine tomorrow, but I might be okay to have a glass on Saturday. I mean, I deserve it. I've earned it. Come on. It'd be rude not to. After the month I've just had, I need to be able to celebrate. Come on, you can't deny me that. Well, that's okay. You know, people can buy Amazon. Amazon's a good stock. It's an investment. Amazon's a great long-term investment, I believe. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I just think it's one of those stocks that's going to be around for a long time yet. People think, okay, well, what do they do that's unique? You know, UPS delivered parcels. You know, you can buy stuff online from anywhere. That's not what Amazon do. Amazon are not a delivery company, despite what most people think. Amazon are a data company. They're a tech company. And that's what you want, Matt. If you've got a setup that's working for you the majority of the time, because no setup is going to work 100% of the time. Like I say, 1 in 3 of my trades goes against me. So for every 3 trades that I take, 1 of them I lose on, and you've got to accept that. And that's for me. I'm happy enough with that, But yeah, if you've got a setup that's working for you 60, 70, 80% of the time, if it's better than 50-50, it's good. The odds are in your favor. But if you've got a setup that you're comfortable with, that's what's important. Just because you see someone like me doing it this way doesn't mean that you have to do it this way. Now, I teach people methodologies. I don't say you have to do it on the 1 minute or what time frame you have to do it. Your pattern recognition, your risk management, this is all, it transcends the time frames, It's your first profitable month, Alistair. It's your first actual month trading since you took the course. So I'm going to claim all the credit for it. Now, what I would say to anybody that's taking the course is I can't guarantee your profitability, and I won't guarantee your profitability. That's all down to you. But Alistair's had his first profitable month, and I'm taking the credit for that. Meta? Let's have a look at Facebook. I don't like Facebook. Oh, they've changed, haven't they? They are actually Meta now. Forgot they changed the ticker symbol that last couple of weeks. Problem with Facebook or Meta is that a lot of people don't get it. If they'd stayed Facebook and not even tried to rebrand, despite branching out into the metaverse, which they're just trying to cash in on a new technology, and a lot of people don't get it. It's going to be a while before you get them to. They're not going to bounce back to what the kind of levels they were at the beginning of the year. That's not going to happen. It's going to take a long time for them to recover. But will they come back? Well, they should do. You look at some of the platforms; they've got a lot of consumers on the books. They're losing revenues from an advertising perspective. They've got all kinds of privacy issues and publicity issues that they've had to deal with. But will they come back? I think so. I think there's a long-term bet. They're probably going to be safe. Is it something I'm going to invest in long-term? No. Look, a small green month, Alistair, is where it starts. My first green month, well, actually, my first green month was followed by a red month. So, my first proper green month was followed by, it was only a small one, and it was followed by a much bigger green month. So, you know what they say about every marathon starts with a few steps. Yeah, Microsoft, Google, Walmart. Check out the just check out when you're researching stocks to invest in. Check out things like earnings per share, growth rate, assets versus debt, this kind of stuff. You look at that when you're looking at stocks to invest in long term. You're not really bothered about the price action. In a bear market, you know you're going to lose value, but you're not really bothered about the price action because you're in it for the long term. So what you do is, I've been told that what I'm talking about is saying dollar cost averaging is actually not dollar cost averaging but lump sum investing, and it's all semantics. So I'm saying you put a certain amount you invest a certain amount every month, whatever your disposable income is that you can afford to miss. If it's $200, fine. If it's $500, even if it's $50, whatever stage you are in life. If you're younger, it might be less. If you are older, it might be more. Whatever. You invest it. You break out your portfolio. You invest it. You just forget about it, and you keep doing that every month. And that's called lump sum investing, which apparently is different to dollar cost averaging. Who would have known? I thought that was dollar cost averaging, but apparently there's a difference. So if you do that every month, you don't have to worry about it. And then when it comes to your retirement, if you've invested in the right stocks, you don't even have to withdraw from that anyway, because you'll be getting dividends on those shares. And you can very often make a nice income off the dividends alone. Cheers, Matt. Well, the way you go in there, Alistair, I might be taking your course. Actually, Alistair's course is, I think it's it's about wine as opposed to trading, though. Yeah, but it was a bit of a strange one. $140? How dare you, Alistair? $160. $140 on the net. That's actually less. Yeah, but nobody counts fees. I like to make it look better than it actually is. You know? Trade profit. That's why I'm counting May as a profitable month. May was a green month, even though I didn't make any money. Because because of fees, I didn't make any money. I actually lost money in May, but it was a green month. It just looks better. It makes you feel better about your trading. If I had a zero commission broker, I would have made money in May. Not a lot, but look at that. AMC. Why was I not watching that? Nice move up there, but I could have got on the back of that if I'd noticed it. Ah, well, never mind. Look, I'm finishing the day red. I'm finishing the month on a red day, and I, quite frankly, couldn't give a monkey's chuff. The only disappointing thing about finishing red today is I was so close to my best month ever. But you know what? That makes me even more determined to do it again and actually have my best month ever before the end of the year. So yeah, we go again as of next week. So I'll not be trading tomorrow. I might throw out a couple of videos over the weekend if I'm on YouTube, if I'm feeling up to recording them, because I've got some more material that I want to do. Yeah, there's always next month. There's always another day, another dollar, another stock, another trade, and next month's it's a longer month than June, so potentially we can do it all again. Although July and August is not usually the busiest in terms of the stock market, but it does pick up again in September and onwards. So if I don't have an outstanding month next month, like similar to this one, I'm not going to be disappointed. Yeah, I'm going to have a lovely long weekend. And you guys, you can all have a lovely long weekend as well, because whilst you might be doing whatever it is you're doing tomorrow, whether you're trading or whether you're working, the US has a holiday on Monday. We can all, apparently, if you're from the US, you think everybody celebrates July the 4th, but we don't. I was in Edinburgh at the time, near Edinburgh Castle, and with my ex-wife at the time, and I got asked by an American tourist, where will the July the 4th celebrations be? But where will the firework displayed for July the 4th? I'm like, what? You're asking in Edinburgh, near the castle, you've come to, see the Edinburgh Castle, and you're asking about July the 4th fireworks. I was aghast. I'm like, really? But then again, it's hardly surprising. To be fair, what is it? Jack Whitehall says is that Americans don't do things by halves. They go all out for everything. They have the biggest and best at everything. They have some of the smartest people on the planet are in the US. Some of the most intelligent, creative minds on the planet are in the US, but some of the dumbest MFs are in the world are there as well. Now, what is it Jack Whitehall said is that we have stupid people in the UK. We just call them the village idiot. In the US, the electing president. I mean, go figure. No problem, Matt. I'll see you on Tuesday. Enjoy your weekend as well. No, I know. Look, the problem is, toys, is that you know what they say about empty vessels make most noise. It's an old saying if you've never heard it, and what it means is that the people with the least knowledge are the ones that are heard the most. So the stupid people are the ones that get you the reputation. You know, I've traveled all over the world, and Brits abroad have a terrible reputation because of the scummy nature of a very small subset of British tourists, the thugs of that come from Britain. You know, the whole Mallorca mindset. And the majority of British tourists aren't like that at all. Well, if you're going to give Benzinga a go, Super Chip, make sure that use the link in my link tree, because that discount code will get you 35% off. Try the 14-day trial first, and then if you come back for the discount code, it'll get you at least 35% off. I'll find out if there's a there should be a July the 4th promo, but it's probably only 25%, because I'm always guaranteed to get the best get the best prices from Benzinga. But just let me know. Yeah, absolutely, Alistair. Well, it's not just Walgreens; it's everybody. The consumer sentiment is extremely low at the moment. People are having to. It's not just that people are not going out buying. People can't afford to go out and buy stuff. You know, the squeeze is on everybody, so they have to choose between. Right now, a lot of families are having to choose between putting fuel in the car or eating. You know, they're not feeding the kids, you know, or they're feeding the kids junk because they can't afford to buy proper food. You know, they're getting cereal for 2 of the meals every day. So, you know, a lot of Walmart and a lot of other places are suffering because consumer sentiment isn't so much about sentiment. It's, you know, people just can't afford to shop. Well, AMC selling off. We've got 7 minutes to the bell. This was a nice hour, nice quiet hour. Managed to recover, you know. Oh, what did I start off? Recovered a couple of thousand. Enjoy yourself, Alistair. Want to have a mega pint for me as well? Seeing as I'm not having a mega pint until the weekend. Mega pint of wine. Got one of those glasses as well. It's not exactly a mega pint. It's a large glass of wine. And as Johnny likes to say, I think it's necessary. Yeah, I'd say I don't understand why governments are like that. They think we're stupid. And to be fair, there's a lot of people that are stupid that believe them, but they're doing no favors for anybody when they say that it's not that bad. You know, there is literally children starving in America, going without food because the family cannot afford to buy food for them, and the authorities refuse to acknowledge it. Is that because it doesn't exist? No, it's because they want to brush over it. It's a classic case of whitewashing. But more importantly is that when they go on, they don't want to go on record to say that we're failing as a government. What they want to go on record is to say, oh, what you're hearing, it's not that bad. We've got it under control, and we're actually a very competent government. We'll turn it around very soon. It's not as bad as people are making it out. No, yes, it is. Take COVID, for example. I mean, the US government was probably the worst one at dealing with COVID. Narrowly behind was the UK in terms of denial. I mean, how many times did the US government say that, you know, well, it'll go away in a month or two. It's not that bad. It's just like the flu. It's, you know, yeah, it's just like the flu. I'm telling you, it's worse than the flu from what I've had this week. I only dread to think what it would have been like if I wasn't vaccinated. That's all I'm saying. They do live in a bubble, but then again, money creates that bubble. It's funny that if you're in the top echelons of the financial bubble, and it is a financial bubble, you're in a different world. You don't understand what the common people have to go through because you've never gone through it. And the majority of these people, I look at people like Boris Johnson in the UK. He's the how on earth he has become prime minister is beyond me. The guy, he's running a country. He's not fit to run a pub. The guy is a complete buffoon. You know, you tell me what business he's been successful at, because he's a moron. And the only reason he's got in the position that he has is because he's had a favoured upbringing. You know, it's jobs for the boys. You go to a public school and or private school, as most people go to a private school, and you get taught about how to slam it in the drawer one more time, Sir Reginald, and you know, well, I think the grey man. Yeah, but the thing is with Biden is that nobody wanted Biden. That's the point. The people only voted for Biden because they didn't want Trump. They didn't vote for Biden, they voted against Trump. So you ended up with Biden. And that's democracy for you. Everybody gets what nobody wants. I mean, it's worse here in Ireland. We had a government that everybody voted against, and because we've got proportional representation, the government that we voted out ended up back in power, which makes absolutely no sense. That's okay. Super Chip, you can be a fan of whoever you want, but the point that I'm making is that democracy doesn't always work, you know. And as far as Trump goes, his regime, his mockery of the whole COVID business was living in that bubble, trying to try to prevent a sense of panic. It did more harm than good. And they weren't the only ones that did that. The UK were just as bad. In fact, probably Boris was putting out, and his cronies putting out all kinds of messages and restrictions and just not adhering to them himself. It was like, okay, we're going to control the entire country, and it's one law for you guys, but we're above the law, so we'll do what we want, which makes no sense. And it does a reputation so much damage. I mean, Boris has no time for it at all. He's a complete buffoon. Well, I think Trump could have got re-elected if he'd been gracious in defeat. I think he would have been odds on to get re-elected if he'd been gracious in defeat. But his behaviour on the run-up to January 6th and subsequently after that, I think he won't get into the primaries, let alone get past them. So I'd be very surprised. I don't think he'll get the Democrat card, of the Republican card. Sorry, he might. Don't get me. He might do, but I don't think he'll get the. Don't think he'll get the Republican card. I don't think he'll get the nomination to run. But I think he would have been nailed on to get re-elected if he'd just been gracious in defeat. Anyway, I shouldn't be talking politics. The market's finished. My voice is finished. So I think the one good thing I can say about Trump though is the economy from a financial perspective. He helped it flourish big time, and he didn't hold back on corporate business. So long may that continue. We could do with another bull market run. Well, that's me done for the month. That's me done for the week. That's me done for the day. I'll be back at it next week. The markets are closed on Monday, and I'm having a sabbatical tomorrow. So yeah, enjoy your Benzinga training, Alphabet. Make sure you to use that discount code if you do end up signing up. Well, I hope you're right, Super Chip, because it's easier to make money in a bull market, that's for sure. Well, let's see. Okay, everyone, enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you all next week. I'll see you all next month, even. Okay? Take care.